Uncle Henry Show. Thank you for listening to the Uncle Henry Show. You can also watch on the News Radio 710 WNTM Facebook page. Coming up in about 15 minutes, Joe Gomez, NBC News Radio national correspondent. We'll talk to him about the Paris Climate Accords. Is President Trump going to pull us out? We'll talk to him about that. Right now, John Sharp is here from AL.com, and John Sharp covers... You write a lot of stories about Mobile and Baldwin, but really you write about the entire state as well.
Yeah, that's kind of how it's materialized lately.
Is that something you enjoy? Do you often go to Montgomery? Do you travel the state to get your stories?
I've traveled some, but not. I'm pretty much down here, and I, with modern day technology, I'm able to reach out and cover things that I can from a distance, and it's I do enjoy that statewide coverage. I like taking issues that you see that come up in Montgomery. We had, for instance, the fantasy sports legislation that came up. It was out in the news for a little while, and I did several stories on that. It a bill never passed the legislature, but it was quite the discussion for a while. And I heard from some readers that, hey, this issue's coming up. It's of interest. I'm like, I play fantasy football with my buddies, I don't put any money on it, but we do it for fun, but I found out that this was really a passionate thing for a lot of people, and so I decided, well, that's interesting. So I did that particular. I followed that issue and did several stories on it, and I think there was a lot of interest on it statewide. It just the bill never got out of that legalized daily fantasy sports never got out of Montgomery. So.
Right, and that's something that's heavily advertised nationally, so people hear those ads constantly and want to participate.
Exactly, and there's a lot of people in this state want that. And I talked to some lawmakers down here, and they said, yeah, of all the things, the phone's ringing off the hook over. It's this daily fantasy sports legislation, and so it might come back up next year.
Okay, so and I know that you covered the possibility of a gas tax.
Yeah.
That did not pass, but a lot of lawmakers want it.
Well, the governor wanted it. So, yeah, that generated some interest. And the governor was down here, it maybe been about a month or so ago now, to celebrate the bicentennial kickoff here in Mobile. Right. And so I asked her that question when she was down here. And, it was something that she was pushing. But, anytime you talk about a tax increase, and especially in Alabama before an election, it's just a tough sell.
Oh, well, a lot of people run promising never to raise taxes. So it makes it hard to turn around and raise taxes.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. Well, John Sharp, look, we're going to take a look at traffic and weather together. We do it every 10 minutes on the nines, and then you can stick around for at least another segment.
Yeah, however long you need me.
Okay. John Sharp is here, AL.com. Coming up in about 10 minutes, Joe Gomez, NBC News Radio national correspondent. We'll get with him and talk to him about President Trump and the Paris Climate Accord. More in a moment.
Saver traffic from the Main Street Flooring and Design Traffic Center.
An 18-wheeler that ran off the roadway on southbound I-65 at mile marker 51 in Escambia County still being worked by authorities there. You may run into a single lane blockage as they try to get the vehicle towed back onto the roadway. And this is the day the Water Street entrance ramp to eastbound I-10 becomes a piece of history. The ramp's going to close around noon today. The new preferred route is the Texas Street on-ramp, where a free-flow ramp has been installed. Much easier and safer access to I-10. I'm Ray Romero.
This report is brought to you by Unbound.
When you sponsor through Unbound, you not only open the door to education for a young person, you empower a family to build a foundation of financial stability, empowerment, and respect. See your contribution grow into opportunity at unbound.org.
First Alert Weather from WKRG News 5 and the Southern Cancer Center Weather Center.
More wet weather on the way. I'm meteorologist John Nodar with the News 5 First Alert Storm Team. The morning starts off relatively dry, most of us dry, but by mid-morning and into early afternoon, we're looking at lots of showers and thunderstorms. Rain chances 70% with a high in the mid-80s and high humidity. We've got more of this kind of weather in store tomorrow and the next day and the next.
This report is brought to you by the T.J. Martell Foundation.
Hey everybody, I'm Eric Church, asking you to join me in the fight against leukemia, cancer, and AIDS through the T.J. Martell Foundation. Your support helps facilitate cutting-edge research that will lead to more effective treatments and save more lives. Visit tjmartell.org to learn about music's promise for a cure.
You're home for Rush every weekday at 11. This is the Uncle Henry Show on News Radio 710 WNTM.
Uncle Henry Show. Thank you for listening to the Uncle Henry Show. News Radio 710 WNTM 99.5 FM The Jag. Coming up in about 10 minutes, Joe Gomez on the Paris Climate Accords and President Trump. Right now, John Sharp of AL.com is here. One of the stories you wrote about a month ago for AL.com was about tourism and whether or not people in blue states come to Alabama beaches. Now, is that really a thing? Is it political? Do people in blue states think that Alabama has cooties and they don't want to come to Alabama? That they don't like us?
Maybe not in that vein, but a lot of it is obviously logistics.
Okay.
The deep blue states are very far from South Alabama, but you do get a lot of folks from. I grew up in a blue state, Illinois, and they'll come down here. I got a lot of friends and family that come down to this area, and they don't think twice about the politics of this area when they come down here. They come down because it's affordable, it's the nice, beautiful beaches, and a lot of things for the families to do. But the reason why I wrote the article is I read there was a column in the New York Times written by a CNN personality who has Mobile ties, and it sparked an interest, and I thought, well, that's interesting. I'll look into it a little bit further. There were some studies done by the Orange Beach and Gulf Shores Tourism Group a couple years ago, and they analyzed where the most tourists came from to Alabama. And other than Illinois and maybe a little bit in Minnesota, almost all of the states that came and visited Alabama were red states. And so I got some perspectives on it. It was interesting. And the column that was written in the New York Times was just kind of like, well, it might be nice for California to come visit Alabama, maybe vice versa. And so I reached out to some folks out in California that were part of a project that we did, AL.com did, earlier in the year, kind of linking up Alabama voters, female voters with California female voters, and kind of sparking a conversation there. It was kind of interesting. It was kind of outside the box type of piece. I enjoyed doing it. I think that it's something that, we're in very highly partisan times, and where people are going to one side or the other. And does that filter down into vacation decisions and where people are going to go as tourists? I would say there's probably a little bit to that, perhaps. But it is worth a debate. I think it's a great debate to have.
When I think about places I want to visit, that never has really occurred to me what the politics of that state might be. It's never really occurred to me.
Yeah, but
maybe it will now that the story is up, but it's not something I've ever considered before.
A lot of people don't realize that, but how many people would say San Francisco's number one on my list to go visit from this area? I would say in other parts of the country it might be higher when you think about places to visit than in Alabama. It's just food for thought. It's interesting to put it out there.
Okay, that's John Sharp of AL.com. Well, John Sharp, thank you for coming in today so early in the morning.
I'm a morning guy anymore, Uncle Henry, so it doesn't bother me one bit. I enjoyed it.
Well, John Sharp, again, you can find him on AL.com. Any of the stories he's written, just click on his name and it'll take you to a list of all of his stories, so you can follow along all the different things that John Sharp has written about. Again, thank you, John Sharp, for coming in, and hope you come in again soon.
I hope so. We'll see you soon.
All right, coming up, Joe Gomez. Paris Climate Accords, President Trump, are we pulling out?
I'm Lydia Pettyjohn, Director of the Family Center, here to remind you how important fathers are to families. Children raised in father-absent homes are 7% more likely to become pregnant as a teen, more likely to face abuse and neglect, more likely to use drugs, and the risk of obesity doubles in fatherless homes. The U.S. Census Bureau says 1 in 3 children in America are living without their biological father. Children need their dads. Find out more at FamilyCenterMobile.org.
Mercedes-Benz is a call like no other. We're offering leasing specials to fit any budget, only at Mercedes-Benz of Mobile. If you thought you couldn't afford a Mercedes, think again. Mercedes-Benz of Mobile has your lifestyle and budget in mind. Come and visit our showroom on Dolphin Street or go to mbmobile.com for details. When I say affordable, I really mean it. Only at Mercedes-Benz of Mobile.
When smart businesses need to grow their team, they do it on the site proven to deliver, Indeed.com. According to an independent study, Indeed delivers 5 times more hires than any other job site, more hires than the rest combined. And right now, we're giving new users a $50 credit to post a sponsored job, boosting your listing in relevant search results. Claim your $50 credit at Indeed.com/credit. Indeed, the world's #1 job site. Terms, conditions, and quality standards apply.
First-time tractor buyer? Do the smart thing and visit your local LS Tractor dealer. They'll take the time to help you make the right decision, plus tell you why LS Tractors always offer the best value with a combination of standard features, performance, and price no other tractor can beat. Go ahead and compare. You'll get more tractor for your money. LS Tractor, excel in your field. Learn more at lstractorusa.com.
Visit Construction Sales and Service in Crestview and get more tractor.
I'm Uncle Henry, a customer of Heads Heating and Air Conditioning. I've used them for maintenance and for when my old system went out on me. Last year, I asked them to turn to the experts, Carrier, and replace my old natural gas furnace with a Carrier 95% high-efficiency unit. And so I had a cozy, warm home last winter with lower heating bills, and I'm looking forward to a cool home this summer with that new system. Carrier, high-efficiency natural gas, and Heads Heating and Air Conditioning make a great team. Did you know they've got financing available at 0% interest for up to 60 months? You can't beat 0% on a new system. What a great combo. Carrier, natural gas, Heads Heating and Air Conditioning, and financing at 0% interest for up to 60 months. So turn to the experts, Carrier, and call Heads Heating and Air Conditioning. The number is 251-653-7873. 251-653-7873. See if you qualify for that great deal on 0% interest.
It's heating and air conditioning, where 3 heads are better than 1.
The Sad family's tradition of caring started with John and Dorothy Sad more than 3 decades ago. The Sad Healthcare family has grown to more than 400 employees, but we're still the same local people you've known for years, offering in-home nursing services, hospice care, rehabilitation therapies, and medical supplies and equipment. Our goal has never changed, offering home healthcare services with integrity, professionalism, and above all, compassionate care. Stop by any of our Gulf Coast locations and you'll see Sad Healthcare's family tradition of caring in action.
Your better workday starts with a better variety from the 80s to now. Listen while you work to the Gulf Coast Mix 99.9. You'll find us on iHeartRadio.
710 Time Saver Traffic from the Dean McCrary Volvo Traffic Center.
An 18-wheeler that ran off the roadway on southbound I-65 at mile marker 51 in Escambia County still being worked by authorities there. You may run into a single lane blockage as they try to get the vehicle towed back onto the roadway. And this is the day the Water Street entrance ramp to eastbound I-10 becomes a piece of history. The ramp's going to close around noon today. The new preferred route is the Texas Street on-ramp, where a free-flow ramp has been installed. Much easier and safer access to I-10. I'm Ray Romero.
This report is brought to you by Unbound.
There's a girl in El Salvador who dreams of becoming an engineer. There's an elder in Uganda who dreams of having a community to call his own. No 2 dreams are the same. Help one person achieve theirs at unbound.org.
First alert weather from WKRG News 5 and the Chemco Metal Buildings Weather Center.
Mostly cloudy skies with showers and occasional thunderstorms likely again today. The early morning commute pretty dry for most people, but it's by 9-10 o'clock this morning we're going to start seeing showers and thunderstorms ramp up over the area. 70% chance before the day is done, with a high in the mid-80s and a southerly breeze. The rain tapers this evening, but we go through the whole process again tomorrow. I'm meteorologist John Nodar with the News 5 First Alert Storm Team.
We love Nick Saban. Just wanted to get that out of the way. This is the Uncle Henry Show on News Radio 710 WNTM.
Uncle Henry Show. Thank you for listening to the Uncle Henry Show. Going to welcome back to the Uncle Henry Show Joe Gomez, NBC News Radio national correspondent. Joe, good morning.
Hey, good morning.
So the Paris Climate Agreement, the president campaigned saying he was going to pull us out of it. What's going to happen today?
Well, today at 3 o'clock Eastern Time, the president's going to come out into the White House Rose Garden and make an announcement as to whether or not he's going to be withdrawing from the Paris Climate Agreement. This is something that, as you pointed out, the president had discussed on the campaign trail, had criticized President Obama for signing the U.S. up to, and also said that it could potentially cost a lot of jobs. It also could potentially cost a lot of money. I mean, there was an economic projection that a family of 4 would have to spend upwards of like $20,000 because energy would skyrocket over the next couple of decades if these regulations under this Paris Climate Agreement were to play out as they are. So, I mean, it looks like the president may be inclined to withdraw from it.
Okay, now and I'm glad you mentioned the cost to the average family, because I've been trying to figure out for the average citizen, what difference will it make in our ordinary lives whether or not our country is in this agreement or not? And you just mentioned that it could lead to higher energy prices.
Yeah, I mean, because there'd be a lot of regulations on the board trying to basically implement clean energy as kind of law of the land. You know, there'd be this process where, you know, it'd be trying to get people off of more conventional methods of energy and try to get them onto renewables instead. And through that process, I guess it could potentially be more expensive for the average family. You know, conversely, there'd be a potential boom in clean energy hiring, and we've seen all that in states already like Colorado and California. But that would still take a while, I think, before that would, you know, basically offset the skyrocketing energy prices. Now,
Joe Gomez, is the rest of the world all in on the Paris Climate Agreement?
Yeah, I mean, basically, you know, I mean, it's interesting because you kind of turn on cable news and you see the U.S. would be one of 3 countries, Nicaragua and
Syria.
That would be you know, that have not signed up for the Paris Climate Agreement. And I thought to myself, well, what about North Korea? North Korea signed up, but actually, if you look into it, North Korea apparently has, to some degree, I guess, signed up for the Paris Climate Agreement, or at least agreed to utilize the same regulations that other countries would. And Yemen has as well, which was kind of shocking to me because they're in the middle of a big civil war type of crisis. So yeah, I mean, the U.S. would be one of only 3 countries that would not be part of it.
So if we pull out, is there going to be diplomatic fallout? Are other countries going to be mad at us? We can talk more about the economic effect and all of that, but is there going to be a diplomatic effect? Do other countries really care? Are they going to get mad?
Well, I think they might. I mean, the U.S. has kind of been the world leader when it comes to clean energy, when it comes to trying to promote ways to combat man-made global warming. At least as long as President Obama's been in office, which has been for 8 years, so that's a considerable amount of time, you know. So I think that certain world leaders would probably be upset that the U.S. would no longer be kind of paving the pathway forward, and so that I mean that could compromise diplomatic relations to some degree, I guess. I'm not entirely sure.
Well, Joe Gomez, what about, and again, you're listening to Joe Gomez, NBC News Radio national correspondent. I don't know if you can speak to this or not, but what about, do you know anything about our own corporate, the corporations, the major businesses in our country? Are major businesses lined up in agreement with the president, or are there major businesses, corporations that want to participate in this climate deal?
Well, yeah, I mean, there have been reports out that, for instance, major companies have actually been lobbying the White House to stay in the Paris Climate Agreement. of course, that may be different depending on which industry you're talking about.
Right.
The coal industry, for instance, not very happy about this. But certain oil and gas companies, I guess, they've made so many changes that they actually have been lobbying the president to stay in the deal, in the agreement. So I don't know, but it's an interesting just kind of combination of businesses and business leaders that want the president not to budge on this, and then it's kind of his advisors and more of the people that think of putting the country first, that believe the president should withdraw from this agreement.
Okay, Joe Gomez, before we run out of time, we have about a minute. Any chance that he'll come up with a third option of saying something like, I won't pull out if we can negotiate this, or if he could try to turn it into a negotiation? Any chance of that?
Yeah, I mean, and if I was, I would say that's what I bet's going to happen today. I mean, I don't think that he's going to pull out of the agreement altogether. I think that he's probably going to say, let's kind of renegotiate some of the regulations that the U.S. has to abide by as to be part of this agreement, or let's pull out of the agreement, but we're still going to do X, Y, and Z, but we're not going to do A, B, C, D, E, F, whatever. So I think there is a third option that he's probably going to use.
All right. Hey, Joe Gomez, thank you for your time.
Okay, thanks.
There he goes, Joe Gomez, NBC News Radio national correspondent. President Trump, 2 o'clock this afternoon, with his statement on the Paris Climate Accord.
This is a Bloomberg Market Minute. Deere plans to buy Wortgen Group, a German maker of road construction equipment, for about $5.2 billion. Wortgen is a privately held company. It has about 8,000 employees and sells products in more than 100 countries. Dollar General reports quarterly sales that beat analyst estimates, but Express issued a view for the year that trailed projections, and shares are down 20% in pre-market trading this morning. Investors are also focused on a couple of job market indicators. Job cut announcements in the U.S. rose by around 71% in May from the year before. Challenger Gray and Christmas says that almost 40% of the job cuts last month were announced by Ford. And ADP reports that private employers added a much better than expected 253,000 jobs in May. These reports come a day ahead of the Labor Department's employment report for the month, issued tomorrow. S&P futures are up 2 points. Dow futures are up 3. Gina Cervetti, Bloomberg Radio.
Bluebell ice cream is a spoonful of smiles, a bowl full of celebration, and 2 scoops of down-home optimism. It's a birthday party's grand finale, a first date's icebreaker, and a second trimester's persistent craving. Bluebell is a soft landing from a hard day, a team celebrating a win or erasing a loss. Some say Bluebell is the best ice cream in the country. And for those who love our groom's cake, here comes the bride's cake. Almond ice cream with gorgeous white cake pieces dressed in rich amaretto cream cheese icing. Both worth a trip down the aisle. The ice cream aisle, that is.
710 Time Saver Traffic from the Main Street Flooring and Design Traffic Center.
Well, we haven't seen any particularly big accidents or breakdowns on the board this morning. We do have lots of road work, never far away from that, including the ongoing project in Fairhope, which has County Road 48 closed between Blueberry Lane and Lawrence Road. That project's expected to run through June 19th. Not much out there at the present time if you're traveling on I-10 crossing the Bayway to and through the Wallace Tunnel. With Time Saver Traffic, I'm Ray Romero.
First Alert Weather from WKRG News 5 and the Southern Cancer Center Weather Center.
I'm meteorologist John Nodar with the News 5 First Alert Storm Team. More wet weather in store for today. A 70% rain chance before the day is done. Some thunderstorms in the mix as well. It just continues this soggy weather pattern we've had over the past several days. In between the showers and thunderstorms, mostly cloudy, warm and humid with a high in the mid-80s.
Good morning, I'm Jessica Taloni with WKRG News 5, coverage you can count on. Mobile County investigators will hand over evidence today in the case of a missing teenager from Wilmer. Authorities believe they found 16-year-old Brian Parker's body last night in a wooded area off Highway 63 in Greene County, Mississippi. Parker had been missing since early last week. A suspect in his disappearance and perhaps his murder is in Mobile Metro Jail. New this morning, another Alabama inmate is asking an appellate court to halt his upcoming execution. Robert Melson's attorneys asked the 11th U.S. Circuit Court of Appeals for an emergency stay. Melson is scheduled to be executed June 8th for the murders of 3 restaurant employees in Gadsden, Alabama. The inmate's lawyers argue the sedative used in executions will not render him unconscious before the other drugs stop his heart and lungs. It's the same argument lawyers for Tommy Arthur unsuccessfully made before he was executed last week. Today marks the start of the 2017 Atlantic hurricane season, and forecasters say it could be a busy one. They're predicting 11 to 17 named storms this season. 5 to 9 of those are expected to become hurricanes, with 4 becoming major hurricanes, Category 3 or higher. I'm Jessica Taloni with WKRG News 5, coverage you can count on.
Fox News Radio, I'm Chris Foster. President Trump plans to announce at 3 p.m. Eastern if he'll pull the United States from the Paris Climate Agreement.
Sources have told Fox the president is expected to withdraw the U.S. from the agreement, pledging to reduce greenhouse gas emissions. President Trump campaigned on leaving the accord and rolling back Obama administration regulations.
Fox's Jared Halpern. The president tweets, "The big story is the unmasking and surveillance of people during the Obama administration." Subpoenas have been sent by the House Intelligence Committee.
3 Obama-era officials are named: former National Security Advisor Susan Rice, former CIA Director John Brennan, and former UN Ambassador Samantha Power. 4 other subpoenas were also sent, focusing on allegations of collusion between the Trump campaign and the Russian government. Those include Michael Flynn and Michael Cohen, a longtime Trump attorney.
Fox's Rachel Sutherland in Washington. Fox News. We report, you decide.
This is Uncle Henry. I want to tell you about Dr. Thomas Bender and Advanced Dermatology and Skincare Center. We love living on the Gulf Coast. We love all the fun activities, the fishing, the golf. But years of being out in the elements, well, that can accelerate damage to your skin. That can accelerate the aging process of your skin. Dr. Bender can help you with that. Dr. Bender is a board-certified dermatologist. He provides the latest innovations in medical skincare and cosmetic skincare, and he also has all the latest technology. He's got 3 convenient locations: Mobile, Daphne, and Bay Minette. You can find out more about Dr. Bender and all of the services he provides by going online. The website is advanceddermclinic.com. That's advanceddermclinic.com. You can make an appointment there online, or you can call for your appointment. The number is 251-631-3570. That's Advanced Dermatology and Skincare Center.
Loans are made by WebBank. Rates and terms vary based on credit history. Amazon is not a sponsor of this promotion. Other restrictions apply. See website for details.
I was making great progress on building my savings, but then I got hit with an unexpected car repair bill.
Keeping a close eye on my credit score allowed me to buy my first house, but an unexpected medical emergency set me back.
When the unexpected happened, Avant was there to help. If you need to borrow $1,000 to $35,000, try Avant. It's fast, simple, and transparent.
Everything is done online. There are no prepayment fees, and no collateral is required. And you can instantly check your rate with no impact to your credit score.
Over 500,000 customers have experienced the convenience of a loan through Avant. No wonder Avant has an A+ rating from the Better Business Bureau. And now, Avant will give you a $50 Amazon.com gift card after your first payment is made on time. To check your rates and to get this special radio offer, go to Avant.com today and enter promo code 2525 when applying. That's AVANT.com, promo code 2525. Go to Avant.com today and enter promo code 2525.
Let me surprise you with an interesting fact. You ready? Of all the media options today, AM/FM radio reaches the most people each week. Yeah, you heard me right. Radio is the leader. AM/FM. 93% of Americans listen to AM/FM radio every week. That's bigger than TV, newspapers, even Google and Facebook. If you're a marketer and you need to improve your plans, remember, radio.
I'm Jason Flom, founding board member of the Innocence Project, and my new podcast is Wrongful Conviction, available on iHeartRadio. On Wrongful Conviction, I interview a different exoneree every week and help them to tell their incredible stories of tragedy and triumph against impossible odds. You've got to hear it to believe it. Wrongful Conviction from iHeart Studios, available now on iHeartRadio.
This morning at 9, Ask the Expert. Then Rush at 11. Right now, it's Uncle Henry on News Radio 710 WNTM.
Uncle Henry Show, thank you for listening to the Uncle Henry Show. Daily Reagan coming up in about 15 minutes on the Uncle Henry Show. Today, the beginning of June, that means that Nappy voting, the final Nappy voting for the Nappy Awards, is underway at votenappies.com. I've been included in, I think, 3 categories where you, the listener, could conceivably vote for me in these media categories. And I appreciate being included so that I could be voted for to possibly win a Nappy Award. But I'm very distressed. I saw the print edition of Lagniappe where they had the ballots written up. And in the print edition, they list the nominees in each category, and they put a letter next to the nominee, A, B, C, D, and so forth. And in each category, they've got me last, and they've got the letter F next to my name. The letter F! The worst letter in the alphabet. There's no letter worse than the letter F. This is the letter that you put when you're in school and you turn in your test or your assignment and you fail. They put an F on it. F stands for fail, flunk. It indicates inadequacy, ignorance, a lack of effort. And in the print edition, this is in the print edition of Lagniappe, they've got the letter F next to my name in every category that I'm in. So subliminally, to the people looking at it, they are seeing the letter F next to my name. They are equating me with failure, with flunking, with inadequacy, with ignorance, with lack of effort. They are associating negatives toward me by putting the letter F next to my name. This is very, I don't know if this was deliberate. I don't know what it was, but it is as unfortunate as any situation. If this were happening in politics in a real election, there would be a court case. The letter, there's never a worse letter to be associated with. In fact, that's the beginning of one of the nastiest words in the English language. And we call it the F word. And that's the letter that's next to my name in the print edition of Lagniappe in those categories. Now, online, the letter's not online where you vote. So that may help me, but I'm still last. I'm not at the top. I'm at the bottom on all these different ballots. I don't know how this works. I don't know why, but votenappies.com. Please vote for me in these categories. The other nominees, they've got lives ahead of them and other things going for them. But I'm the one that really needs it. votenappies.com.
710 Time Saver Traffic from the Dean McCrary Audi Traffic Center.
This is the much-anticipated day that the entrance ramp to eastbound I-10 at Water Street will shuffle off into the history books. Sometime around noon today, the ramp will be permanently closed. There's a new free-flow on-ramp that's been constructed at Texas Street, so the posted detour is going to be Canal Street to Claiborne Street, then on to eastbound I-10 via the new Texas Street ramp, which is a much safer ramp, much wider, without that big curve, and obviously it comes up to I-10 well before the tunnel now. With Time Saver Traffic, I'm Ray Romero.
This report is brought to you by the Foundation for a Better Life.
While many rose up with violence, he sat down for peace. Mahatma Gandhi reached out with the strength he cultivated within his soul.
So, pass it on from the Foundation for a Better Life at values.com.
First Alert Weather from WKRG News 5 and the Chemco Metal Buildings Weather Center.
More wet weather on the way. I'm meteorologist John Nodar with the News 5 First Alert Storm Team. The morning starts off relatively dry. Most of us dry, but by mid-morning and into early afternoon, we're looking at lots of showers and thunderstorms. Rain chances 70% with a high in the mid-80s and high humidity. We've got more of this kind of weather in store tomorrow and the next day and the next.
This report is brought to you by the T.J. Martell Foundation.
Hey everybody, I'm Eric Church, asking you to join me in the fight against leukemia, cancer, and AIDS through the T.J. Martell Foundation. Your support helps facilitate cutting-edge research that will lead to more effective treatments and save more lives. Visit tjmartell.org to learn about music's promise for a cure.
Roll Tide. This is the Uncle Henry Show on News Radio 710 WNTM.
Uncle Henry Show. Thank you for listening. The Daily Reagan coming up in about 10 minutes. Today is June 1. Where did May go? Where did that month go? Here we are in June 1. First day of hurricane season. Angelo's with us from MobileBayCoins.com. And Angelo, now you have had to maintain property at the beach for your family. So this is something you've always had to think about since you've lived here, right? Hurricane season?
Oh, it has. The first year I got here the year before Hurricane Ivan. So I got here in the fall, and then the next spring, boom, we had Hurricane Ivan, and then we had Katrina. And not only property down there at the beach, but rental properties here in Mobile. So whenever there was a storm heading our way, it was dashing around like mad, boarding things up. It made for a hectic few days.
Well, Angelo, I see the list of hurricane names, and yes, I think they've got to change this. I think the names should be intimidating so that people take them seriously. And they've got Hurricane Cindy this year, Hurricane Tammy, Hurricane Harvey. They need to have something like Hurricane Attila. You know what I'm saying? Hurricane Chainsaw. They need to have names that are intimidating names so that people will take it seriously. You hear that? Yes?
Some of the news media right now already gets so carried away. We've all seen those funny videos where somebody's showing the storm at the beach or the hurricane coming, and there's a dog playing in the background, things like that. I think if you made the names intimidating and changed all this, they would make the whole process even more ridiculous than it already is.
But look, you and I, we know to take it seriously. But there are younger people that we haven't had a hurricane in a long time. There are younger people that are just gonna say, "Oh, let's go to the beach. Let's go frolic, and the waves are bigger. Let's go." And we're going to have problems because they don't take it seriously.
Well, I do think you're right, but I think at the same time we need to educate folks and tell them. And I think making something have a scary name, I don't know how much that's going to change things, Uncle Henry. I mean, heck, I think wasn't it last year we did the spam challenge?
Right. And?
Well, I'm just thinking about the fact that people get overexcited and overprepared. You guys talked about everybody gets cans of Spam and things like that to get ready. For goodness sakes, I've never had to eat a can of Spam because of a hurricane. Now, pick up leaves and brush and repair damaged windows and things like that, yes, had to do that pretty much every single time. But I was not starving to death and eating canned meats to survive. And I think that we just need to educate people a little bit. And again, I respect your opinion, Uncle Henry, but calling the hurricane Hurricane Attila or Hurricane Slasher or something like that, I think that's just something that some of the news media is just going to turn into a circus.
All right, I've used up Angelo's time with my own personal rant on hurricanes. Mobile Bay Coins, the Krugerrands sold out now?
No, we've sold about half of them. The Krugerrands are selling fast. We also got some more of those 1.5 ounce Canadian polar bears in stock. So those are also very cool, very interesting pieces. And we just picked up some more $20 gold pieces. So if you're looking for any nice gold coins, some nice pieces of silver, whether you want to spend $20 $20 or a couple $1,000, we've probably got something for your budget.
Mobile Bay Coins, 2204 Government Street in Midtown Mobile. MobileBayCoins.com. Thank you, Angelo.
Things get said until I've weighed in on it.
Rush.
You don't really know.
Today, 11 to 2.
What it means.
News Radio 710, WNTM.
Let's listen in on a conversation between the partners of McNeil Aarons Lambert Financial Group.
Hey, you old geezers. I bet you can't answer these questions even with your combined 85 years of financial counseling experience.
Well, darling, why don't you just give us a try?
Well, alrighty then. You always talk about the top fears of retirees, running out of income, and what you are going to do when you need help with activities of daily living or long-term care and what that will cost. But do you know what numbers 3, 4, and 5 are?
Could it be who's going to marry my wife when I'm gone?
No, Ed, it's got to be who's going to coach Bama when Coach Saban retires.
You're both wrong, and they all have to do with 3 simple things: investing, the market, and money.
Folks, if you're considering whether your financial plan will weather the storm, call McNeil Aarons Lambert at 666-5000 for a complimentary second opinion. That's 251-666-5000, or visit them online at malfinancial.com. That's malfinancial.com.
Why pay every month for a temporary storage facility when you can own a Mueller building? Mueller's backyard buildings are easy to assemble, affordable, and offer a permanent storage solution right in your own backyard. With a variety of sizes available and over 30 colors to choose from, our backyard building kits complement any home or landscape. And if your equipment requires even more storage space, Mueller's Standard Series buildings are ready to go to work for you. From workshops to big barns, these pre-engineered, bolt-together buildings come in a variety of size and color options. You can also visit us online at MuellerInc.com to get a free, customized building estimate. And while you're there, use our custom 3D design tool to turn your building dreams into a reality. We're here to serve you in Alabama, so give us a call at 877-2-MUELLER today.
I'm Uncle Henry, a customer of Heads Heating and Air Conditioning. I've used them for maintenance and for when my old system went out on me. Last year, I asked them to turn to the experts, Carrier, and replace my old natural gas furnace with a Carrier 95% high-efficiency unit. And so I had a cozy, warm home last winter with lower heating bills, and I'm looking forward to a cool home this summer with that new system. Carrier, high-efficiency natural gas, and Heads Heating and Air Conditioning make a great team. Did you know they've got financing available at 0% interest for up to 60 months? You can't beat 0% on a new system. What a great combo. Carrier, natural gas, Heads Heating and Air Conditioning, and financing at 0% interest for up to 60 months. So turn to the experts, Carrier, and call Heads Heating and Air Conditioning. The number is 251-653-7873. 251-653-7873. See if you qualify for that great deal on 0% interest.
It's Heating and Air Conditioning, where 3 heads are better than 1.
It's here. iHeartRadio lets you play any song right now. Need to hear your favorite new song? Do it. Need to hear the song that reminds you of that thing? You know, the thing from the summer of 2010?
How do you know about that thing?
Just play it. iHeartRadio gives you the best live radio and your music in one place. So upgrade now and play exactly what you want to hear. iHeartRadio free, iHeartRadio Plus, and iHeartRadio All Access powered by Napster. Go to iHeartRadio.com now to upgrade.
710 Time Saver Traffic from the Main Street Flooring and Design Traffic Center.
This is the much-anticipated day that the entrance ramp to eastbound I-10 at Water Street will shuffle off into the history books. Sometime around noon today, the ramp will be permanently closed. There's a new free-flow on-ramp that's been constructed at Texas Street, so the posted detour is going to be Canal Street to Claiborne Street, then on to eastbound I-10 via the new Texas Street ramp, which is a much safer ramp, much wider, without that big curve, and obviously it comes up to I-10 well before.
This report is brought to you by the T.J. Martell Foundation. Join the T.J. Martell Foundation in the fight against leukemia, cancer, and AIDS. Your support helps facilitate cutting-edge research that will lead to more effective treatments and save more lives. Visit tjmartell.org to learn more.
First Alert Weather from WKRG News 5 and the Southern Cancer Center Weather Center.
Mostly cloudy skies with showers and occasional thunderstorms likely again today. The early morning commute pretty dry for most people, but it's by 9-10 o'clock this morning we're going to start seeing showers and thunderstorms ramp up over the area. 70% chance before the day is done with a high in the mid-80s and a southerly breeze. The rain tapers this evening, but we go through the whole process again tomorrow. I'm meteorologist John Nodar with the News 5 First Alert Storm Team.
Your home for traffic and weather on the 9s every morning. This is News Radio 710 WNTM.
We've arrived at the Daily Reagan here on News Radio 710 WNTM, 99.5 FM The Jag. The Daily Reagan, a presentation of SAD Healthcare. That's SAAD, sadhealthcare.com.
May I say a few words about conservation and the group I consider the foremost conservationists of our wildlife resources, America's sportsmen, hunters, and fishermen. As Teddy Roosevelt recognized, the free, self-reliant, adventurous life, with its rugged democracy, the wild surroundings, the grand beauty of the scenery, the chance to study the ways and habits of the woodland creatures, all these unite to give to the career of the hunter its peculiar charm. Well, unfortunately, there's been a kind of elitist attitude in Washington that vast natural resource areas must be locked up to save the planet from mankind. Well, we have a different philosophy, one based on respect for both man and nature. Our administration believes in the concept of stewardship, caring for the resources we have for the benefit of mankind. Now, let me be clear about those words, stewardship for the benefit of mankind. We favor economic development, but not within our national parks or within our wilderness areas. We have not and never will propose that. What we do say is when the last administration arbitrarily closed tens of millions of acres of Alaskan land, telling sports hunters to stay out, then yes, we think that was wrong, and we're trying to correct it.
The Daily Reagan, a presentation of SAD Healthcare, SAAD, sadhealthcare.com. Uncle Henry Show. Thank you for listening to the Uncle Henry Show. News headlines coming up in less than 10 minutes from Fox and from WKRG. Ariel, the video producer of the program, please join me here on the radio, Ariel. I need to get to the bottom of this. Ariel, what has gotten into you?
What is that supposed to mean?
Well, Ariel, for those of you that did not hear earlier, there was a shock bit of news that was dropped on the Uncle Henry Show early this morning, and that is that Ariel, preacher's daughter Ariel,
yes,
last night went to a stripper class.
I did not go to a stripper class. I didn't go there. I went to a pole fitness class.
Pole fitness.
Yes, and see, and that's the problem. Like, these classes have the stigma attached to them that this is all about slutty nastiness and
but the pole comes from stripping.
It does, but there is a very, very great fitness element to being able to use your body resistance to lift yourself up. And like, these women are spinning, hanging sideways, hanging upside down, and it takes a lot of upper body strength. In fact, it takes a lot of full body strength to be able to do the tricks. It's kind of like acrobatics. In fact, like, nobody's clothes came off. Everybody has on t-shirts and shorts, and there's no sultry nastiness going on. It's just,
Is there nasty music, stripper music playing?
There is choice music. I would not say that it was stripper music, but there is some choice music, but it's pretty athletic. It's more athletic than it ever has been nastiness. There are those classes out there that are full of nastiness. This was not one of them.
All right, now so this is again, this is pole. This involves the stripper pole.
Right.
Now, you're the preacher's daughter. Mm-hmm. How's this going over at home?
My mother declined to comment, and my sisters gave me a funny look like I had done something wrong.
Well, it's a stripper pole.
Because people don't seem to understand that this is not about being nasty. This is about full body strength. Do you know how hard it is for firemen to come down that pole? Like, I never realized how much strength is involved in spinning down a pole until I had to do it myself. And I was like, oh, man, shout out to the firemen and the first responders. That is not an easy task. That's all I'm saying. Just saying. Like, my father doesn't know, and I don't think he would ever understand.
Now, what other kind of women are at the stripper pole class?
It's crazy because there are, like, business women, there are mothers, there are wives. Because, again, this is not about nastiness. This is about fitness and just kind of having, like, that time to yourself to just let loose and get in shape in a fun way that you might get bored doing in a gym. This was fun. Very, very exciting.
Okay.
No nastiness.
Now, Ariel told us that she's going to write about this on her website, thebeatofmobile.com. When is this going to be available for people to find at thebeatofmobile.com?
By noon.
By
no later than noon.
And you're going to have video.
Yes, there's video, there's a write-up. Because I want to break the stigma. This is not about nastiness.
Now, are we going to have video of you on the pole?
No. Unfortunately, I did not get video of me, but this is not my last class. I've actually bought a membership to do this every Monday. Yes, on Monday and Wednesdays, I'll go and I'll take this class for an hour.
All right. Well, I'm going to, I hope, if I go to look at this, I'm not going to be scandalized, am I?
Nope, you're not going to be scandalized because everybody is clothed.
All right, Ariel. I'll be very cautious, Ariel. Be very cautious. Thebeatofmobile.com is where you can find that. Ariel, preacher's daughter. So this is a situation where even if it's wholesome, then people in the congregation are going to be whispering, did you hear that the preacher's daughter is on the pole? And it's going to cause all kind of reverberations and echoes and different things going on in the congregation. Be very careful. Bought a membership. I have noticed that in modern times, we need to be tricked into exercise, that there has to be a gimmick. I saw some other thing on Facebook where people are now taking classes with giant drumsticks, where they're pretending to play the drums while they're in the gym. I would take the class if instead of drumsticks for drums, it was actual like chicken drumsticks. If I could work out with chicken drumsticks, fried chicken drumsticks, then I might get into the gym.